The amazing thing about entrepreneurship, and I've read a lot about timing, is that you could build something perfect, amazing. But if you're not at the right time, it doesn't matter. We call ourselves a COVID company. We were literally launched and born during the pandemic. It could have honestly gone either way. On one hand, we didn't know where the mental health market was going, and maybe we don't thrive as much as we are right now. On the other hand, we're on the brink of this enormous opportunity where employers are finally prioritizing mental health. I don't think any of us could have imagined with our crystal ball what would happen next.
China has identified the cause of the
mysterious new virus.
Coronavirus.
A quarter of the world's population is now living under some form of lockdown due to coronavirus. More than 3 billion people in almost 70 countries and territories have been asked to stay at home.
The pandemic probably accelerated the industry by about 5 or 10 years. We knew this change was going to happen at least at some point, but maybe 5 or 10 years down the road. And with COVID, that change happened literally overnight when our workplace entirely changed and everyone felt those mental health effects of COVID.
Coronavirus obviously has created a global state of uncertainty.
I think we're going to be having a mental health crisis now.
COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
Normality, as it was before, will not come back full on until we get a vaccine for this.
It's important to recognize both the immediate and the long-term impacts that this pandemic can have on people's mental health.
I think that's what positioned us so well to win in this marketplace. So first and foremost, we're digital. There's been a huge transformation from in-person resources and talks and speakers to something entirely digital. That change happened literally overnight. The second thing that has been huge for us is, as opposed to the previous offerings where it was like crisis management or something's broken, you need to fix it. Everything we do is based on skill building. It's inclusive. We think mental health is a 5 and 5 issue. We continue to go hard on that messaging because we are working with the entire spectrum of mental health.
These changes you mentioned to our work life as a result of this pandemic, you refer to it as the brave new workplace. So what does that mean exactly?
Well, the brave new workplace is obviously the situation we're in now, and it's the new normal that we're experiencing, where change is happening very quickly. The situation is always fluid. We're getting news updates all of the time about what the workplace will look like, but it's also highlighted by things like digital meeting platforms and experiencing that isolation and having emotions around stress that we've never dealt with before in the workplace.
What we've done is make mental health as a brand, as Headversity, just way more accessible to employees. It's not that old, like here's a PDF, here's a pamphlet, this is like some government resource. We wanted to make it applicable to everyone, make it a legitimately cool brand that people recognize and they want to be associated with. People want to be proud of training their resilient skills on Headversity.
It's an uncertain time for many in the workforce, but a new app is aiming to help employers navigate the reality of the modern workplace and support their employees to gain resilience during this transition. Joining me now to share the details is psychiatrist Dr. Ryan Todd, founder of Headversity. Dr. Todd, thanks so much.
Headversity. Now a new Calgary-based app meant for people in the workforce offers to help. Joining me is
I talked a little bit about this changing landscape, right, of workforce mental health and workforce behavioral health is some of the lexicon that's used. And we were going up against some companies that have been doing this for like 10 or 20 years, trying to push this message. And they've raised like $1 billion and are consolidating huge parts of the market. And it's, for as much as we've grown, at that time we were still a small fish in a really big pond. The thing that I would say keeps me up at night is not letting this huge opportunity pass to have an enormous impact in the world and get into environments where our competitors are not.
Yeah, it's tough, right? Because we had an awareness deficit in the market, but we didn't have that budget to be super aggressive with brand. One of the things that we could look at was brand influencers. And we'd seen that work with consumer brands like Headspace, Calm, and there was an opportunity maybe to potentially work with a personality that embodies what we are doing in resilience.
We loved the idea of having a brand ambassador. We'd seen it work really well in our industry, especially in the consumer space, right? With a lot of these apps that are coming out, athletes putting their name behind apps. And a name that just jumped out at us from the start is Andre De Grasse. There's just so much to like about Andre. We heard his story on Bell Let's Talk. He's spoken up and been a mental health champion in the past. So the more we learned and got into know Andre's story, we thought, man, he is an ideal character, an ideal target for us, somebody who could represent the brand. One of Headversity's advisors fortunately had a connection to Andre's agent, so we took a shot in the dark. I was super nervous about this, and as much as you target a brand ambassador, it's a mutual partnership. You want to impress each other and make sure it's a right fit. So I knew we need to get in front of him so he could buy into Headversity, what we are, who we are, our brand, our vision. And for an athlete that works with these enormous, established multinational brands, I was really nervous, and I knew it would be a challenging sell. Hi, Brian. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing today, Ryan?
Excellent. Yeah, very good. Thanks for connecting. So I know that we connected with James, who's one of our investors. As he may have told you, I'm the CEO of Headversity, and would love to chat with you about the opportunity to work with Andre. So I just need you to shoot me straight. Like, is there an opportunity or a chance to work on something that is growing, right? This is a growth story, right? We are not Cheerios or Gatorade or Peloton.
Yeah. Hey, listen. No. First of all, flattered you've said that about his partner family. Definitely, if we can do some of those things with you guys, we're on the right track.
Andre, how's it going?